All right, welcome everybody. Episode 16, Talking Back Sunday, a special Election Day edition. How are you guys?
Ooh, doing
Good.
good.
Very
Good.
special guest, our manager Jillian Newman is here.
Hey,
Ta-da.
Hey.
California.
Woo!
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Happy to
No
have you. We thought we could introduce you to the world that is watching now. And because we're in crazy times, we don't get to hang out as much anymore. So here we are.
Drew, has this been the longest we haven't seen one another, like in person, Jillian?
Probably ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I've definitely never gone a year. I saw you guys in December. It's way too long.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So for those of you that don't know, Jillian has been with us, and we've been with her since the very beginning, since Tell All Your Friends. So she's seen
2002.
Years.
Yeah,
8
so she's
years.
seen all the ups and downs, all the things, and she's a big part of our family. And we're happy that she's here on YouTube with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. Very important. But Jillian, when did you first see us? It was South by Southwest in 2002, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, it was funny. So I was managing Midtown, and they were making a record in LA. And so Kathy from Victory had sent a package of CDs to Gabe, which he received in my office. See, kids, this is the old days where you couldn't get music with one click of your finger. You had to actually send it in the mail. And so Gabe was in my office just putting all the CDs in the CD player. And then he literally put the advance of Tell All Your Friends, which I think I still have somewhere. As soon as it came on, like, I really stopped what I was doing. Look, I have it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
wow.
that.
Blast from the
Yeah,
past.
That's cool.
But it says the in-store
In
date.
stores. Wow.
And he put it in, and I just stopped working immediately and stopped what I was doing. And it was love at first sight. Like, I asked Kathy to send me a copy. And then in March, it came out in March, and we were at South by Southwest. And we were having a party, just drinking, doing what you do there. And someone was like, oh, the Victory Showcases, let's get up and go. And someone rallied us out of the room. I don't even know who, but I was thankful to that person. And came and saw you, and Matt Pimfield was there, and it was way off the path, in Austin.
Oh, yeah.
I think Adam had a mic
I
incident. Yeah.
Or yeah, because Kevin Knight was also there, and then I was out with Kevin Knight out front after we played, just covered in blood. And I remember you came by with Gabe, and like I went to shake your hand, and you're like, I'm good. I'm good.
I think I said exactly like, hi, it's nice to meet you. You're bleeding. I'll talk to you another time. Or
Yeah.
something. But it was the best, because then I just started kind of getting myself acquainted with the band, and like started just helping where I could, put you guys on shows. Like, you didn't I expressed that I wanted to manage you, but I was like, I don't care if you hire me. I'm gonna just start helping you because your band is awesome. And then it was funny because that was back in the day where you couldn't pay your bills online either. So Adam's phone would get shut off because he's on the floor and he didn't pay the bill. So I'd call one of your friends, and I think it was which video had come out where you had leopard skin hair. And so I remember.
Oh, that one. Great
Great
romances. I
romances.
thought I was a super cool guy with that haircut.
I called one of your friends, and I was like, please tell Adam to pay his bill and get his phone turned on, because I have to make fun of his hair, and I have to do it soon. And that was,
And you're still doing it to this day.
No, we're trying to have a contest who can grow it the longest.
I actually cut mine. It was way longer, but the ends were all ratty, so I cut it myself. And for about 4 days, you could definitely tell.
Looks good now, though. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, see, that's actually when we saw each other. I did it right before then, and you didn't even say anything about it. And my feelings have been hurt since then.
Oh my
How
God.
rude.
Sorry. I'm very sorry about that.
There you go again, John.
I should have known. I should have noticed.
Haven't seen us in a year, you lose all your manners.
Yeah, jeez.
Split ends, right? Is that what that's called? Split ends?
Yeah.
You gotta watch
split
out for
ends.
those.
You got to watch out for the split ends.
Yeah, think that was the first time I've cut my hair in like 3 years. What about you, Jillian? What are you going on with the hair?
I did go once to my hairdresser set up in her garage very safely, and I
Nice.
felt like I went more for her than for me because, you know, she's suddenly lost her ability to make money. So I got my hair cut and tipped her the same amount that the haircut cost. And, you know, it felt very safe. She was wearing a shield and, you know, only me in a garage with the garage door open. So I have had one haircut in the since March.
Well, if you need another one and you need any tips, you just get a beard trimmer and you take the top off of it and just go like this until it looks like all about the same length, and you're good to go.
All right.
What about the Flowbee? Is that what that thing is? The like the thing that vacuums
Yeah.
your hair in and then like chops it off?
Yeah, like sucks it up the same. That instantly makes me think of Wayne's World.
Yeah, me too.
You know what my favorite haircut method is?
What?
The Will Noon method. Will, our wonderful drummer from Straight Ron, amazing guy. On tour, he would cut his hair with a dull pocket knife.
What? Oh man.
I'd see him in the mirror just.
Oh.
Why the pocket? Like, why not just get a scissor?
Because it's what he had, and he's very economical.
He's very thrifty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
So he
He
had
also-
the knife. You don't have to
yeah.
buy a scissor.
Yeah.
Like $3,
He also,
$4.
He had a rope for a belt for about 2 years, I think. and his glasses were missing an arm for I think almost that long.
Wow.
Yeah, he's thrifty. He's got lots of money now though, so you know who's laughing now.
Yeah. He did it right.
You know,
Yes.
you brought up Matt Pinfield being at that show, and it made me think about, he bought a lot of shirts. He maybe 2 to 4 shirts he bought, and
Really?
while he was doing that, I was thinking like, this is the craziest thing ever. I can't believe Matt Pinfield from 120 minutes, like the amount of time that I spent watching that.
Yeah.
And he was buying her shirts, and I was so excited about it that I still vividly remember it today.
Yeah, I remember I had a great conversation
awesome.
with him at Emo's, and I was like, I can't believe you're here, and like you know what my band is, and he knew, and that was a really awesome moment. That was one of those like, oh, we're almost making it. Jillian, can you tell the people what sealed the deal for us to sign with you?
Well, I mean, I really, the music just got me instantly, and that's a big thing for me. And then when I saw you guys play, even though we can all agree there was maybe 20 people there at this show,
Uh-huh.
No, I think you're shooting way high.
There
Like
was
maybe it was however many people were on the tour plus like 4 or 5 other people.
well, I think I came with more than 5 people, but like there was just a star quality, I think, with Adam, which we all can agree. Like he was, even back then, just an insane front man.
Could I get that in writing?
It's better. It's on YouTube forever.
But yeah, you know, it took a while. I had to stalk you guys for a few months, and then I threw you on the show. If you see the poster right there, the Sean McGrath benefit show, I threw you guys on.
Oh yeah.
York. I like all my tricks though. Remember, like our office was right by Universal Studios, so
That's what I was getting at.
I got you guys free tickets to Universal Studios, and I'm like, oh, while you're there, you might as well stop by the office. And then in New York, after this show, we had a meeting set up, and I think Adam got a little lost in New York City, and ended up missing.
I've since now I can navigate the subway extremely well, but back then I was really bad at it.
Yeah.
And I ended up somewhere that was very far from where I needed to be meeting you.
But it was fine because I think was it John and Sean that came and hired me, and yeah, it was the day after that show, which is why I know my anniversary date, and it's been awesome. Like it's crazy to me because people will put a post or something about how tell all your friends changed their life, and I'm like, it literally did change my life, but as well as you guys as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was very happy about it. Never looked back. We had our fun times, we had our challenges, and it was all worth it 100%.
What a
Awesome.
ride.
Yeah.
Could I get that in writing too? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and that benefit show was, I felt it was a really big deal. I think we all felt the same about it. I remember that just felt huge. I mean, guys, I think it was Irving Plaza, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, I think, our first time playing there. There were
It
all the bands
was.
that we grew up listening to.
Yeah.
Midtown and yeah.
Yeah, being accepted onto like a bill with those bands at that point was really big, because I think we had kind of felt like we like those bands looked at us as not like ready to be on that level with them or something.
We were like the annoying little brother that
Yeah.
that couldn't stop bugging people.
Yeah.
And no
Yeah.
one wanted us. No one wanted us to play any shows ever with them.
Or sign us to their labels. It was like, get out of here, you dumb kids. Like,
Well,
no, we're
You know,
really good.
I remember with that show, the reaction that we got was
Yeah.
unbelievable. And
Crazy.
literally, that's when I remember thinking, like, whoa, I think that this is gonna even go. Like, I think this is just like, it really sat in. Like, this is just the beginning right now for this.
Yeah.
'Cause I couldn't believe it. It was the best.
I was managing Midtown at the time. That's, so I helped put the show together. I actually hired the chain reaction artist to make the poster and got that for them. And it was for the Sean McGrath Fund, which still exists and helps musicians in need. But, I remember one of you saying to me, I think it might have been Adam, that it felt like I was the mafia don because these bands never wanted to do a record. Suddenly I like legitimized your band, which is kind of crazy to me because I'm like, you guys were so good. And I remember while you were playing, like two things, like, Adam literally looking up at me on the balcony going, Jillian, are you seeing this? Like, and I also remember Heath from Midtown coming up to me and saying, I really don't want to go on after these guys, because the crowd was like so electric that it was just adding this pressure for the bands that were on after you guys. So it was definitely a memorable trip. The funny thing about that trip too is when I drove to the airport to fly to New York, I didn't realize it was like the LA Marathon or something was going on. The traffic was like bunkers and I really almost missed my flight. Crazy to think about, like the little thing of timing that could have like changed things, but luckily I made it. So here we are.
Yeah.
So funny. We've had a lot of funny memories back in those days. Driving around in the van. I've been on a lot of van tours with you guys and getting lost, going the wrong way, trying to go to Massachusetts, and Mark having his broken leg or foot or whatever on that trip.
Sprained ankle.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were going from
sprained my
Philly up
ankle
to
maybe
Worcester.
50
Yeah.
times.
Worcester. 50?
More than I probably, yeah. Sean, like I started spraining my ankle around age 13, and it just kept on happening and happening and happening until about 30, and it slowed down.
Yeah, your back went.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Back
trade-off.
Yeah, like move from your ankle slowly up to your lower spine.
Now it's just my whole body and my brain hurt.
And that's it, though. Everything else.
And that's all I need.
Yeah.
Is it almost? I think it's almost tequila o'clock, guys.
Is it? Look at that.
Whoa. Whoa.
What's
Look
your guys'
out.
plan to stay busy today?
I think that's it. I did that last night. I had a gluten-free beer and I put on the new Red City Radio record, and that made everything better for about an hour. And then everything went back to being chaotic.
Well, the iVoted festival is today, right? So you can find all the
Oh yeah.
and that'll be going on all day, and I think they're leaving it up for 24 hours. And you guys, why don't you tell people about the unique performance you guys did for that?
Oh, we well, being as we're all in different locations, and there was a terrible mismanagement of the pandemic that we're still somehow in. We
mismanagement. I was like, wait a minute, what did I do?
No, not you. But they we filmed it all at our houses. So we filmed ourselves playing and sending around the horn, and then we each added our own parts. And our buddy Mike Pepe mixed it, and everyone's going to be able to watch it today during the iVoted festival.
Jillian, where can they find it?
Our other buddy edited it, right, John?
Oh yeah, our friend Anthony Natoli did a
Oh,
great
yeah,
job. He
yeah.
filmed, I think he filmed Mark. Everyone
Yeah.
else filmed themselves, but he did a great job cutting it all together.
Yeah.
And
I
it looks
filmed
very
it.
nice.
I actually just put
Oh,
my
you
phone
filmed
down.
yourself?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right, well.
But yeah,
So
It was good. Did you see my footage that I filmed?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
Yeah, it was
standard.
very good.
Did you
Yeah.
like it?
I liked it a lot. I actually, after I was done recording my part to it, I just watched it a few times,
Is that right?
just for fun. Yeah.
Because it looked so
You're
good.
like,
And I missed
look
you.
Look
It was
at Mark
nice.
go.
If you didn't know me personally, would you think like that's a really cool guy? I wish I did know him.
Yeah, it's exactly what I would think. I would say that looks like the kind of man I could be a best friend with.
How do I mean to be friends?
that'll be up at Voted Concerts, and we'll put the link in the little notes down there. Should be fun. Head count, we're on the head count stage. You guys, I should say, are, and they've been amazing. They're a nonprofit out just trying to get people informed and voting, and they've been really, really great to work with, and sent us a nice goodie box for today to get through it with some chocolate and some beer and maybe some comfy underwear for you guys and stuff.
Awesome underpants.
So, that should keep us excited. We got some Mad Libs, right? We did one last week that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, so that's a good way to keep busy today and not watch the news all day, which is what I'm trying to avoid.
No, man, I'm doom scrolling hard today.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes you got to give in. I took an hour to play Nintendo Wii with my son. That was our big distraction.
Yeah.
Nice. Yo, dude. Keaton was trying to tell me that there's no school on election day. Is that a thing for anybody else?
My daughter
Yeah,
went
public school.
to her little thing, but yeah, the public school is off today-ish.
Oh, I was gonna say, can
okay.
11-year-olds vote? I don't know. Or how old is he?
Yeah. Well,
I think he's got a
think-
better handle on things than a lot of people. So, Adam, I say Keaton should vote.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that because I know who he would vote for, and I'm totally into it.
Kanye.
Oh Jesus, man!
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, dude, that makes me so upset.
I don't even like acknowledging things like that. But
It's
here
like
we are.
no, because what a waste. He's just sick. Like he needs help, and nobody's helping him because he has money. It's fucked up. I feel bad for him.
It was funny. He was saying money is meaningless, but I'm worth $5 billion. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, which I think points out a much bigger issue. But it's just like he clearly needs help,
Mhm.
and nobody's gonna help him because either he's just got yes people around him, or like who knows, man. Like it's just a crazy thing. See, that's what happens when a fucking reality TV person is president. Like it's just fucking bonkers to me. Fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It really kind of avoids everyone that tries to tell you to shut up and play music and not talk about politics. And like even in the realm of who our president is, people still use that argument, and it's just, I don't know. I think people are just really frustrated right now, and I hope that things can happen.
Why?
I really hope things can happen to like bring peace back. It's interesting. Obviously I interact with a lot of people overseas, and even the well wishes coming to us today from overseas is like a little overwhelming. I appreciate it, but it's also like, I've never felt like we've needed it before, and it's perspective.
Yeah, like I've even gotten some texts today like, hey, you holding up okay over there? I'm like, yeah, man, it's fine. I'll just be panic scrolling all day long.
We
But
I did.
you know what oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say somebody did post on the Twitter to give advice on what people are doing to like kind of keep their peace and stay calm. And there was a lot of good suggestions, a lot of listening to music, a lot of hanging out with kids. Someone was telling us how we could learn how to crochet. So, go to the band Twitter if you need some companionship or some tips on how to stay calm.
I was gonna say that we're like we have a little courtyard here, and so we were gonna just kind of get together safely out there, but that means we'll have a little fire going. So I'm gonna tend the
Nice.
fire.
That
I
sounds
love
like
doing
a
that.
nice thing.
Yeah.
Love tending the fire.
Moving your body,
Yeah.
you know.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'm
There's
gonna do a dance class with a couple of my friends over Zoom. There's an Instagram gentleman named Ryan Heffington. He's a choreographer here in LA. And as soon as the pandemic started, he started running a lot of just free Instagram classes. And he's got such a positive message, very uplifting, very hard. And you can't not be happy doing that. So I'm going to do that a little later, try to keep busy.
Nice.
yeah.
I might go for a bike ride. Maybe I'll go for a bike ride before I settle into drinking and doom scrolling.
Stretch those legs out. How's the dog? Has he been running away anymore? Have you had to chase him in your slippers again?
He has not gotten out since the last time.
That's a good boy.
He's a pretty good boy. He ignores pretty much everybody except Camille. I feel kind of bad for her. He like literally just follows her around everywhere she goes all day, every day.
I want a dog to do that with me and just want to do the things I want to do all day.
Well,
That would be great. And then we could wrestle. Maybe
you
play
talk to Camille. She might be ready to let you take him for a while.
She's over it.
Yeah. But he's a good boy.
Ship
He's
him
not
off
a
to
bad boy.
Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yep, you're going on vacation, buddy.
Good luck.
And then it'll just be me chasing him around the house, asking him why he doesn't want to follow me,
Yeah.
follow me around.
Come on, pal.
Why don't you love me?
How did Halloween end up? Did any of your kids get any trick-or-treating in? Safe trick-or-treating?
Yeah, I went we went trick-or-treating. Safe. Everybody left out baskets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, we just put stuff on our front walk and people went nuts. Our neighborhood was jumping. It was cool. It was really cold.
It was cold.
But it was nice to get out. Like the kids wanted to go back before we did. So like, all right, cool. You're done? Great. Perfect.
Yeah. I have neighbors from my kitchen window. They're in the apartment building next to my building, and their patio faces my kitchen. So I've become pandemic friends with their two kids. There's a little 5-year-old girl named Sarah and a 8-year-old boy named Hamza, and they're lovely, and they're stuck in the house a lot, so when they see me they have a lot to say, but it's been really great. And so I got some candy for them, but I needed to get the parent out there without the kids to ask if it's okay if I gave them some candy for Halloween. So finally on Friday night the dad was barbecuing and I was like, can I ask you a question, like can I give the kids some candy? So a little while later, the mom and the two kids met me out in front of our buildings, and I had a little pumpkin with some candy, and they actually brought me a plate of grilled chicken from their barbecue, which was so nice and lovely.
Oh, hey.
It was delicious, and yeah, what a lovely thing, we've now become friends through the window. So when they want to meet the cats so bad, but pandemic, so I'm like, the first thing I do when it's okay and safe, you come over and meet the cats. So there's something to look forward to.
You could probably make some kind of harness system with like a pulley, and then you just put the cat in the harness and just kind of rope them over there, and then bring them back.
Wear a mask.
Yeah, that's true. I did give them the candy in a bucket, a little Halloween bucket, so we could use that bucket They come in handy.
Yeah.
Reuse, recycle, right? Give me the bucket.
It's important.
Waste not, want not.
Yeah.
So
As they say.
that's what they say. Or our kids, we went around. We didn't do proper trick or treating, but we did go to a friend's house, and they had we did an outdoor hangout with some candy and stuff there. But then we got back. I took the dog for a walk, and I walked by this one house. This couple's sitting in their driveway, and they're like, "Oh, you want some candy?" And it's like, "Oh, no, I'm all right, thank you." But then they just went ahead anyway, and they had one of those little like those plastic kids cars, where the kids kind of just move it around with their feet and hold the steering wheel. And they had it attached to a rope. So they put a bag of candy on it and let it roll down the driveway right to me. And it stopped right in front of me. I was like, okay, well, now I have to take this bag of candy. That was awesome. And then they just pulled it back up with the rope and waited for the next people to come by.
That's a good neighbor.
amazing.
There was a guy around the block from me that had remember in Goonies when what was the Asian kid's name?
Oh yeah, Data.
I say data.
Yeah. Dude,
You
yeah,
say data.
he had a contraption, this whole big thing. It was sick. And he just kept on pumping candy into it, and his kids were there. They were all pumped. We were all pumped. And I was like, hey, man, happy Halloween. Thank you. How cool.
I gotta say that one of my favorite social media follows, Chrissy Teigen, who's just been great. Early in the pandemic, when groceries were hard to get, she really needed romaine lettuce, and she baked all these banana breads or something and said, whoever has romaine lettuce, I'll meet you in a parking lot and we'll trade. And that's what they had. They had the little plastic car that they shot the romaine lettuce and traded for the banana bread. So
Nice.
Oh, that's funny.
pretty funny.
My parents came while we were trick or treating. They caught up with us. They parked the car and they walked around with us for a little while. And like Sean said, it was freezing out. But I would be walking to the next house, and no one was coming anymore. And I'd just be standing in front of the house, being like,
Am I too old to trick or treat?
Why am I the only one walking here? Understanding.
Were they dawdling?
Yeah, my mom's telling a story to Mickey. They're just standing there. I'm like, can we move? And
Let's freeze them. Let's get some candy, bro.
Fucking 35 degrees out.
Don't dawdle.
Mark's parents, I want to point out, a very important part of the Taking Back Sunday puzzle. Like Frank, your dad was kind enough to help with finances early on and was the de facto accountant, which you guys very kindly, thanked them later. Did you send him on a cruise or something? Something really cool.
It was a nice vacation that we gave him.
Hard earned.
Your mom, not to call her out, I love her to death, but might have been the person that trashed the dressing room first out of the whole group.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'll never forget Roseland Ballroom. Are you talking about?
Yeah, dude.
It was 2005, Roseland Ballroom. Roberta came tanked.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, there was cake flying. There was cake flying, as I recall. I remember seeing some people running out.
Straight up, she got kicked out of a bar that night. I was like, Mom, you're crushing it. Time to slow the roll. In 2005, if I was telling you to slow down, that means that you had that you're doing it wrong.
You got problems, bro.
Yeah, because I had problems in 2000.
Does she watch the podcast? Am I going to be in trouble for bringing
You might be.
Roberta, I love you. I love you.
Talking shit.
You can come trash our dressing room anytime you want.
That's funny.
Oh, man.
So good. I remember we stayed at their house, right before the first show when you guys got back together.
Mm-hmm.
And we all stayed at the house. And then which one of you was missing? One of you was missing, John or somebody, when we were driving there. Someone was missing because I remember us making a bunch of jokes like we were going to go, hey, we're just kidding about the reunion because we couldn't find someone. No, I can't remember who.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Well, no one
time
knew how
was
to
so
play any of
crazy.
the songs, so that was an issue.
What?
Hey, I could play them just not well. All right.
Yeah,
There-
same with me.
Cause when we got back together, we were rehearsing at Mark's in his parents' basement like we used to do, and the first run through of the songs was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Sure was. I still have anxiety just bringing up. Ah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
You could see everyone's face like, whew, all right. Okay.
Okay. Well,
gonna
we
take
got
a
some
while.
work to do. Got some work
We
to do.
need to figure this out.
Well, man, thank God we had Nathan. That was when we first met him and first started
Yep.
working with him. And I had figured out a bunch of stuff wrong, like on the songs that I had never played before. So like I thought I knew how to play the songs, and it turned out I did not know a bunch of the parts correctly. And Nathan is so good that I could just be like, oh, well, how is this supposed to be played? And he would know every single part like immediately and could show me like nothing. So he really saved the day right off the bat.
He did.
And continues.
Yes,
Yeah.
and continues
It
to
has
save
not
the day.
stopped.
Thank God for Nathan Coben, man. What a
Yeah.
good guy. Good guy.
We've gotten more professional, but there are still some holes that he has to fill. So thankfully he does it, and couldn't be a better dude.
I remember one of the projects I wanted to do that I never accomplished was when you guys were having people like try out or whatever for that position. I was like, we should put an ad in like, the penny, whatever, wherever you put ads at the time.
Recycler.
That we need a guitarist
Center.
or player that sounds like Taking Back Sunday type music, and then have them show up like hidden camera, and literally it would be you guys like in the room, and just see if like anybody would like freak out or something. But yeah, I never got that done. Thought it would have been funny just to see their reaction and then make them play all nervous.
Oh man.
Is that how you guys didn't meet that way, like finding each other in ads, like trying to start a band, right? None of you.
No. Yo, John, how did you meet Eddie?
I met Eddie because I knew Antonio, who was the original singer for the band. So Eddie had asked Antonio to start a band with him.
Okay.
And then Antonio asked me if I would like to try out for the band. And that was how I met him.
And the rest
I got in the band because Antonio and my friend Terry Quinn, who we all know, worked together at Don Juan in Westbury. And when the drummer quit, he was like, "Hey, there's this band. This guy's in this band." And I'm like, "You know what? Yeah, like,
yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
It's crazy how random some of these things were. Like just one little thing went different, and it wouldn't have happened the way it did.
Yeah.
Dude, the crazy thing about that was, and I've told this story before, was a month before, or whatever it was, how many months before, like, my brother told me about the band that Eddie had before Taking Back Sunday. He was like, "Hey, they need a drummer. You
Runner up.
Try out." And I was like, no way. But then I showed up to the tryout, and I was like, "Oh, hey, man, what's going on?"
I remember I was pretty scared of Mark when I first met him. I don't know why. You seemed like you could be mean, like, appearances, only judging first appearance.
Very nice person, Jillian.
But I remember there was one of the early tours, and you guys were going to be stuck in LA on Thanksgiving, and my boss at the time, Larry Weintraub, what up, Larry? He was going to be out of town, so I literally borrowed his house and had you guys all over and made Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was like buds and stovetop, but it was good. And I remember you coming up to me and like saying a very warm like thank you for making me feel like happy on Thanksgiving or something, and it was like all gone. Then it was like, okay, Mark's really a nice guy, tough exterior, big heart, so that broke that ice for me.
I remember that very well. That was the first time I think any of us had been in. Was that in Hollywood Hills?
Yeah, he lived right around the street from Brad Pitt.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yeah, because So we worked out of his house, and there, if you remember, there was an incident on the news where a girl broke into Brad Pitt's house and like went to sleep in his bed or something. And it was
That makes
literally
sense.
we're at work and there's all the helicopters and police cars in the whole 9 yards because he did live a couple of doors down at the time.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had another like after party there after one of the shows and did the hot tub and the whole thing. So
Yeah, like that following summer or something. I think that was summer 2002. I was like, yeah, I'm getting comfy here.
Yeah.
Hot tub.
So yeah. He still lives in that house. He redid it, but it's a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful house.
I remember that day I went outside to the street to call someone, and I saw a mountain lion.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
How
That's
far
pretty
away
cool.
was it?
It was not that, like, I was walking up and down the street, and out of nowhere I was like, that's a huge fucking cat. Like, and I just hung up the phone and stood there and didn't move until, and then it just left. And I was like, that just, like, I couldn't believe that just happened.
That's crazy.
That's really
That happened.
scary.
Yeah.
Really, that sums up LA. Either you're going to see Brad Pitt or a mountain lion. You never
Right.
know.
I had no idea that there were mountain lions there. I had no clue. I was like, what the fuck is that thing? So nothing happened, though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we were babies. We didn't know anything then.
No.
Hadn't been anywhere. Hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
You know, our friend Brian Hagstrand's dad told me one time when we were like teenagers, I was over at his house, and he told me, you know something about you, Mark? You don't know shit about shit. And at the time, I was offended, but then years later, I thought about it. I was like, he was 100% right.
And also, that's something that we've been saying to each other for 20-something years now.
That's right.
Because of that.
Still
Yeah.
use that, yeah.
You don't know
Man, you
shit
don't know
about
shit
shit.
about-
That
You
and
know the thing about you?
Think about you.
you got problems.
Yeah. You have problems, bro.
Classic childhood quotes from Sean and Mark's lives.
Yeah, Mark,
Yeah.
should we tell that story? The problems one?
Well, when you brought that up, like Sean and I grew up on a soccer team, the Baldwin Eagles soccer club, and played on the same team throughout our childhood from what, like age 8 to 18.
I think
right?
I think it was like third grade to seniors in high school.
Wow.
So we lost a game one time, and one of our teammates started just crying, like full out, like. "Ah!"
This is around like 14, 15 years old. Like everyone's hitting puberty and everyone's very emotional.
Hormones are raging.
Yes.
Yeah, and this kid Marcello told this kid Mike that he has problems. Yo, you right? Is it,
He goes, dude, are you crying because we lost a soccer game? And he goes, yeah, I have problems. He's like, you got problems, bro.
yeah.
And
It's
that's-
really weird
yeah.
that we remember that.
And that we're still saying it to one another to this day.
Well, it was such an
Yeah.
amazing feeling, too, because it was so uncomfortable and so funny, too. Because he kind of understood why he was so upset. And then that was just a funny line. You got problems, bro. I'm like, yeah, we probably shouldn't cry about losing a soccer game, but I get it. It was a bad loss.
Good times.
You want to answer a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a fun comic booky question today
Oh, sweet.
from Alex. Said, hey guys, big fan since Where You Want to Be. I'm also
Thanks,
a
Alex.
huge comics reader. I know Adam loves comics, and there were a few songs that seemed to have connections to favorite books. What's It Feel Like to Be a Ghost, 100 Bullets, My Blue Heaven, Swamp Thing, Error Operator, Ultimate Fantastic Four, but I also know it was used for the Fantastic Four movie. Any other comic references I'm overlooking? Keep up the good work. I cannot wait to see the band play live again.
Well, there's a thank you for your question and for listening. What's It Feel Like to Be a Ghost didn't come from 100 Bullets, I only got about halfway through that series because then I started reading Why the Last Man, and that thing is so great. And and then Error Operator is definitely. I was reading the Ultimate Fantastic Four at the time, and then we had a lot of the music done for that song, and then we got asked. It actually first came out on a Fantastic Four video game, and a lot of the words on that song were related directly to this one issue of the Ultimate Fantastic Four, which I thought was pretty great because it's crazy, you can read like this or use that medium of art, and then take it out of context and find how much it relates to your own experience. So yeah, and I've kind of fallen off with keeping up with the comics. John, I know you do. Don't you have like that iPad subscription?
I never got a subscription, but I've when we used to travel a lot, I would yeah, remember that?
No, I don't.
I would buy like a collected, they do like the big trade paperbacks. You can like buy those on the iPad, and then you have this like long comic book to read. And so I've kept up with it a little. I mostly just read Batman comics for some reason. It's like the one thing.
Where is she?
Stuck with me as an adult, and I don't even really know why. Because a lot of it is objectively silly, but I really enjoy it.
That
No, it
brings you
was
back
a-
to your childhood. It's good.
That's part
Yeah.
of it, probably.
There's I was just really into the Ultimate series that Marvel did, and they had done because it's like a reimagining, and I was really into Ultimate Spider-Man, and so I was showing him to Keaton, and like Keaton, because Keaton he's starting to get into that, and I realized that I don't relate with Peter Parker like I used to, and that just really broke my heart.
That is
So
sad.
it was, yeah. Or like, yeah, because there's some parts, like he'll have like kind of, well, like when you take like the bad guys trying to destroy the world part away, like the problems he has are all pretty small, and he's making a big deal out of them. Like in like the grand scheme of things, I just want to be like, cut it out, Peter.
He's a little whiny.
Yeah. So but yeah, but going back to My Blue Heaven, that was I actually, after Louder Now came out, it dawned on me that it was also the name of a Steve Martin movie. Totally unrelated, but
I thought that was where you got the title from. I didn't realize that it was anything else.
no, it was
like,
no.
I
don't want to talk about. I don't want
Adam
to talk
must
about.
really like that movie.
It's a good one. Rick Moranis.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie.
Good movie.
I just love Steve Martin. Great banjo player, great writer. There's yeah, the reference that it is directly. I don't want to say out in public on YouTube, but it's anyways, after that, I thought that was a pretty funny thing. So I just kind of ran with that for a while. That it would kind of like how we used to tell people that the name of our band was a reference to a Smiths B-side that didn't exist. Same thing.
Yeah, we used to say in the early days anyway. I used to say a lot of things that weren't true just for fun.
Yeah, it's like funny because it was it was just fun for us, but then a bunch of people took it and ran with it.
Well, you go your whole life, no one asks you questions about anything, and then suddenly you're giving interviews 5 hours a day. I remember John and I got into one interview back in like 2002 where we talked about having a fight club of cats.
Yeah, cat fight club.
Yeah.
And we were able to keep our faces straight enough that the person doing the interview like didn't know what to think, whether we were making it up or not. And so they were asking
That's
us
pretty
questions
great.
about Cat Fight Club.
And I think we went on for about 30 minutes about it or something. And
Yeah.
I never saw that interview everywhere. I've definitely checked in
Well,
previous years.
that was some of it. Is we were lucky enough that like lots of people were wanting to do interviews with us, but then a lot of them were, you know, pretty small publications, and we didn't even know where it would ever get seen. So then it was a little bit of a thing of like, well, what kind of crazy thing can we say, and does it even matter?
Yeah, because nothing was getting published at all.
Do you guys remember the interview that you did at in Orange County that time? It was in our dressing room, and then this dude just kept on asking you two the same question about Adam over and over and
Oh,
over.
And this was like
again.
3 years ago.
I was thinking of a different
and-
interview.
Wait, what?
It was literally, I was so creeped out, and I was looking over like, holy shit. Like, this guy will not stop. Like, how the fuck did this happen?
Well, wasn't he doing something like every question, like Sean and I would answer, and then he'd be like, well, like, what do you think Adam thinks about that?
It was,
yeah.
it was something along the lines of him just either, something like that, or him asking the same exact question over and over and over again, just worded a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Where, like, I wasn't even in the interview, but I had to leave the room. I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. This dude is freaking me out.
Because a similar thing happened a million years ago. I think it was in Canada or something, Mark. You were sitting in on an interview on the bus, and the girl kept asking about what it's like to leave our family and friends.
Yes.
And how hard that is. And we're like, yeah, it's hard. It's not fun, you know. And then she'd ask again and again and again. And you were trying not to laugh, and you were sitting right there. And we were trying to keep it together, too. We're like, yeah, we miss everybody.
Yeah. Anyone that I like, I miss them.
Yeah, I want to be.
You're hurting my feelings at this point.
That was hilarious.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Yo, Nick Cannon's hilarious. Well,
Good
all right.
times. Yeah. I don't know how we ended up there, but that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how we do. Jillian, is there anything you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Nothing. I just thank you for having me. I hope it's a little interesting for people, and it's been a pleasure. You know, this is the best part of my life, is working with you guys and having you in my life. So let's keep it going.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to also need that on paper for later in case you get upset with us.
It's all right. I'm a manager. I have paper. I'll take care of it. Good job. I promise. I got you.
You got a printer and everything?
I do. I'll take it around.
Hell yeah. Well,
We
everybody,
love
thank
very
you.
much, Jillian.
Yeah, we
Thanks
do.
for joining us.
Yes.
We appreciate all the years of work and all the years in the future you're going to put in once we get this ball rolling again. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us on Election Day. Stay safe, wear your mask, go vote, and we love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye 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 bye.